Hey everybody, it's Richard here from Salon Coaching, and today I want to talk to you about how to grow your salon, how to get really busy, how to make some money, and how to be successful for as long as you want it to be. And it's very, very simple, and sometimes it's the easiest thing. I was speaking with one of my one-on-one clients the other day, and I believe her salon has been turned around tenfold. And she says to me, I don't really know what we've done. As in, the steps that we've taken are really quite small, but they're huge in the result that happens. So when I talk about momentum, and I talked about this in our last video about trying to push that snowball up the hill, once that momentum starts moving, it's very, very easy. It's a little bit like when you was a child and you had the roundabout and you had to try and pull it to get it going. Once it was spinning, it was easy to keep it spinning, but very hard to get that momentum to start. So if you're feeling at the moment there's a little bit quiet in your salon, or you feel like there's lots of gaps appearing, you have to start doing something now, and you won't realize that it's making a bit of a difference. There'll be no fanfare, there'll be no a billion phone calls to say book me in with you. It's steady things that you have to do religiously day after day or week after week, and you have to be held responsible. You see, you're the leader of your salon, and whatever your salon's at now, whatever stage it's at, that's down to you, good or bad. So you've got to stand up and go, you know what, I've got to do something. So here I've wrote down action or activity. These are two things that we judge people by. And the reason we do this is quite simple. Action means you're physically doing something to try and grow your business. Activity means you're working on today's problems, putting out fires, just doing today's clients and going through that. I just thought I'd run a few things down, and I could have kept going and right up to the ceiling and out of shot. There is lots and lots of things that need doing, but each week, each month, everything needs to be done without fail. I've just run through an example here for you. Let's just say that you've got suddenly woke up one day like me and you've got a bit of a beer belly, and it's getting quite big, and you want to lose some weight. Now you can quite easily do one of these diets that'll lose money, lose your weight really fast, like the cabbage diet and all the other ones out there. But it's a bit like when you go to the gym. When you first turn up, you have these great expectancies of what's going to happen. So, for example, I stopped going to the gym not long ago, hence I got a bit of a belly, and I live right next to the beach, and I was going to ride my bike and run on the beach and get fit with nature. And after a few weeks, you just fizzle out. You just do. Life gets in the way, something happens, and then you don't do it. It's too cold, and you don't get out of bed. Before you know it, you've just stopped. And then you look at your watch and it's 3 months later. And that's how I feel it is with salon owners as well. I know when I had my business, I had great intentions. So usually after Expo or usually in January, you're really keen. Or even now, just after July's finished, and you're thinking, right, we're going to smash this. And after a while, you just get stuck in that rut again. So these fad diets don't really work at all. So, but what I want to explain to you is if you imagine that you ate, I mean, this is, for example, 2,600 calories a day, you're going to put weight on because it's just a bit too much. But instead of trying to lose some weight and get yourself down to, let's say, 1,400, which is what you do when you diet, and you're constantly thinking about food, it's constantly a pain, it's constantly hungry. What I'm saying is, what if you just took a little bit off that 2,600 and you decided that in a year's time, you get down to that weight. There's no rush. It's just you're just going to change a habit, a bad habit that you've got. Maybe you have 5 coffees a day. Maybe you have 2 or 3 sugars. Instead of taking them out of your diet completely, just stop one. So this is the same sort of thing. Instead of doing bad habits when you get to work, you go in the back room with your staff, you chill out, you have a laugh with them, and sometimes it's good when there's no clients there. You can really get into a bit of a a bit of a habit of enjoying that sit down and chilling out. I know I did. I got to a habit where I used to get the juniors doing all my blow dries and my washing for me, which is a bad habit to get into because it's a luxury that I really shouldn't get used to. But indirectly, these good habits you should form is always be on the lookout for new clients. That means you need a marketing plan working 365 days of the year. Everything you do needs to be attracting new clients. If you do not have any new clients coming through your door, you are not growing. It's as simple as that. So you need to every day. This is not easy. I don't. Who said it was going to be easy running your own salon? Because it's not. Now every day you need to be looking for new clients. Every day you need to be looking how you can keep clients. And when you lose them, why are you losing them? Like why are you doing that? Build yourself a system. Like every day, build a checklist and tick it off. Have I been through the clients that have lost? Do I contact them? Do I find out why they've left? New clients, do I find out where they've come from? Why did they come? Why did that advert work? These are really important things. Rebooking, do you track and do you look? Most people do, but do you know why your figures change? That's the key. When you can innovate something and orchestrate it and really know why your rebooks are going up or down, then you have the power. Systems, do you systemize your salon? Training, you got to train staff, you got to train yourself. Employing people, do you know how to employ people? Do you know how to put an advert in? Of course we all know how to employ. I mean, I'm talking, do you know how to put the advert in to get the result and to interview in a certain way that gets you the stylist you need? And if you don't know the answers to these, this is what you need to do every day. Practice and practice until it becomes normal and a really good habit that you've got. Cleaning, do you have systems for cleaning? Do you have policies put in place? Do you have a culture? You got to work on yourself. Do you read self-help books? Do you get some coaching on yourself? Have you got leadership? Have you got leadership for your staff? Do you grow your staff? Do they have leadership as well? Is someone coaching them? Are you getting them to read books? Are you getting them to go on courses? Re-education, let's just put a dash in there. Are you re-educating your staff? Because you need to be. They need to be energized and feel alive. And then, of course, business acumen. Do you know about your P&L? Do you know about your bills? Do you know your break even? It changes almost monthly. When do you reflect? Have you got triggers? Do you have to tick a chart to say you've done it? These are really, really good things. Now, this is just a few things that you have to do, but these are habits that you should get used to time and time again. This is what we call action. This is an action plan. Very, very simple through here. Very, very easy. If you're doing all this constantly as a good habit every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year, you have action. Now that means if you're doing this, you'll know your salon is growing, you are in control, you've got money in the bank for these quiet weeks and these quiet months that even the best salons have, by the way. I drive past the best salons and they're still sitting there quiet. Difference is they make money when they do and they reserve some money for when it's quiet. It's less stressful. Or are you an activity person? Are you just a person that just sits there and you just go with the flow? And if you're busy, you're quiet, and your head's down, you're just doing your job. That's you. This is just you doing a job. Okay. This is someone who's in control of their salon. There's a difference. So how much action do you actually do in your day? And if you do none, like if you just look at your bills when the bills are in, and if you just look at some of these things, really, when someone says, "Oh, the rebooks are down, we've gone a bit quiet," and you have a quick look, or you go, "Rebooks are up." I'm talking knowing why. What words are you using to get them rebooks up? When are you saying them? These are things that you need to do day in, day out. It's time to change your bad habits into good habits. Like I say, the difference is when you do activity, it's a bit like you're on a fad diet, you're just doing it really and hope for the best. But to really break it, like to really break the difference, you have to change something. And that means small, really small things. Do you hold staff meetings? Do you do huddles with your staff? Do you do targets with your staff? Do you do bonuses? Do you do commissions? Do you speak to your staff every single morning to see what's booked in? Do you then recheck it before you go home? Did they hit their targets? These are just a handful of things that need to be done. It's huge. It really is. But if you don't do the action, and this is what we're talking about, you will just have a job and plod along. So if you really want to grow your salon, and I personally believe, like I've started 4 salons from scratch. I know what it's like to start a salon. It's hard work, especially once you go through that stage where you've gone through and you're starting to mature. If you've passed your second year in business, really you should be there. You should know all this and you should be doing it. And if not, you need to start learning it. You really need to. You're a leader and your staff look up to you for leadership. You should have benchmarks in place. You should have standards in place. It's like having children. You wouldn't just have children and wing it all the way through. You'd get some advice of your grandparents or your parents, and that's what you need to do. So, are you taking action or are you letting activity take over? I hope you enjoyed that one today. A bit pumped. I'm sorry, guys, but it's just one of the things where I'm trying to work out what I did when I got my salons going. I remember I used to get to work half an hour before everyone else. I was there half an hour after everyone else had gone, and I would literally have a tick list of what I would get through without fail. It's what we teach our clients, but that's what we tend to do through there. It's a matter of getting it through. Cheers, guys.